Welcome back, folks. This is Tommy, Help with Gadgets, and we're going to do a review of the Kizer Sparrow today. And there's a lot of things I like about this knife, and there's some things that that I didn't care so much for. But long story short, and a bit of a giveaway, I really like this knife. Kizer did a lot of good things, as I mentioned, with this knife. The one thing that I didn't care for too much was the finish, as it shows a ton of snail trails on it from regular carry, regular usage. Thought about sending it off and getting some laser engraving done on it, but I'm not sure. May or may not do so. So this is the Kizer Sparrow. I think it ran for just over $150, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, and I'll throw up a correction if that's not the case. But you've got titanium scales, titanium backspacer. You've got a titanium clip that works really well. I think they did a good job with that. You've got a filler tab over here that doesn't really blend in quite as well as it could, maybe, but it does give an option of allowing you to move that clip over to the other side. A couple of opening methods, one being the reverse flick, and this nice S35VN stone wash blade. You've got the maker's mark there. That's the Blackbird blades. You've got the name of the knife there, and you've got Kizer on this side, and S35VN. So a little bit of billboarding on the scales, but nothing that really is real crazy or anything. There is no lanyard hole on this one. So let's go ahead and get some size measurements, and then we'll do some comparisons between this and other knives on a side-by-side basis. So if we look, this is about 3.2, yeah, right around 3.2 inches on the blade length, and right at 7.5, maybe just a little bit more on the overall length. So decent size knife. I think anywhere between 3 and 3.5 is pretty good for EDC. And depending on the knife, it can be larger or smaller than that. All right, let's get the scales out here and take a look. Tear that out and see what it's measuring at. And I'm getting right at 4 ounces. And in fact, that was what I was expecting to get on that one. So right at 4 ounces. Let's go ahead and do some comparisons. Let's start off with another Kizer. That's the Kizer Militaw, and one that has been compared to that would be the Berg Blades Sweeney. Alright, so there's that. Let's pull up the Kubi Titius, and also bring in the Asher Knives Sparrow. Blade length on that one's similar. Alright, let's bring in a couple of Demcos. This beginning with the 80-20.5, and I'm laughing because I missed the reverse flick on that one. And the Shark Cub. Alright. Let's get those out of the way. Let's bring in another Kizer. This is the Kizer October. And then a knife that I think is very similar to that would be the Vostede Hedgehog. Similar in some ways. Obviously, one's a top button, or yeah, a top liner lock, and the other is a frame lock. Let's get another Vosteed here. That's the Psyop, and then let's bring in a Bag Knives Mini Glimpse. All right, so there's those two out of the way. Oop. All right, let's get a couple of flippers. This is the American Blade Works Model 1, and this is the North Arm Sky High. Okay. Let's bring in the CJRB Pyrite and the QSP Penguin. Alright, those two. And just a few more pairs of knives to bring out. Let's do the Eutectic Binary and the Eutectic EFD. That's the Everyday Field Duty. This one should be coming out in August of 2024, so next month. Let's look at the Miguron Morial. That one's very similar in size there. And that's the Petrified Fish Mini Beluga. And then last, but certainly not least, we have the Microtech MSI and the Kizer Cyberblade. And as you can tell, the Sparrow is somewhat larger than the Kizer Cyberblade. All right, good deal. Let's look at the the thickness of it. It does carry very well in pocket. It's not very thick. That's it compared to the Vosteed Psyop. This is compared to the Asher Knives Sparrow. This is it compared to the Kizer, another Kizer, the Militol. Let's bring in yet another Kizer. That's the October. Let's do the 80-20.5. You can tell the 80-20.5 has a slimmer carry profile. The Miguron Morial. Okay. And let's do the QSP Penguin. Alright, so some similar thicknesses there. Let's look at the let's look at it in this this aspect, and then you'd see how it kind of carries, not too thick, not too spread out, but not really thin either. That's QSP Penguin. That is the Kizer October. That's your CJRB Pyrite. And this is the Miguron Morial. So some similarly profiled knives there. That's the Asher Knives Sparrow. Okay. All right, let's talk about what I like. I like that it is titanium. I didn't care for the finish on it. Maybe some texturing or something that would not have shown all these snail trails, and I'll see if I can show you what I'm talking about there. While it does give it character, it's not my favorite. The clip is good. It's not what I would call a deep carry clip. You're going to have, you know, at least that much sticking out of your pocket. But it does work well. It slips in and out of the pocket easily. I did not find that these relief cuts were catching on the pocket any. Jimping on the flipper allows for push button or light switch, and the opening hole there works very well for reverse flick as well as thumb. So all opening methods work very well with this knife. I didn't find that I was getting the lock bar on utilizing any of the opening methods. It's just the way that they've done this. It fits very well in hand. This is kind of the grip, and you can see it's an easy 4-finger grip. I can get up on this a little bit if I wanted to, but you're running the risk of hitting that blade edge there. So best to keep everything back behind there. Centering is good. There is no up and down, side to side blade play. The detent is really good. I would compare this to among some of the best that Kizer has done. Lockup is pretty good. Blade steel, as I mentioned, is S35N, so that's not a problem at all. As I mentioned, no lanyard hole. There is jimping here on the top of the blade that helps you get a fine good purchase on that the top of the blade. Otherwise, it's not. I wouldn't call it rounded, but it is. It has been chamfered just a little bit. It's not a sharp edge there on the top of it. Let's see, anything else that I needed to talk about? The pivot's kind of plain. It's just a kind of a domed pivot on the show side. Nothing crazy on the lock side. Just it's a simple pivot, but it works very well. So overall, I would say this would be a knife that I would recommend. Especially if you don't mind the character marks that do build up on the scales. If you don't find that to be a problem, then I would say that this might be the knife that you might enjoy. And I would recommend this knife. It is very well done, and I've enjoyed carrying and using it. So hope y'all have enjoyed the brief review here of this knife. Please hit that like button down there. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Please leave a comment. I enjoy seeing those comments, and hope to see you again soon. Appreciate it. Thank y'all.